Good afternoon, everybody. It is Seahawks Brendan Nelson. I know you can't see me because my software has decided to not pick up my webcam right now, but we're going to go ahead and make this video anyway, and I'm just going to assume that you guys can trust me when I say I'm still here in the bottom right corner like I always am. You just can't see me. I'm John Cena right now. That's the best I can do. I'll be back very soon. You'll be able to see me before the day is done. And I'm making this video because I was watching that Chargers Jets game last night, Monday Night Football, another miserable primetime game for the NFL, by the way, and it got me thinking about something. It got me thinking about something after really chewing on that game for a little while there. And what I was thinking about were all of the people. I got a lot of comments. I see a lot of posts on X and Facebook and Discord and all these places trying to say that the Seahawks' failures on defense against the Ravens on Sunday need to be blown off and ignored and given a pass for because the offense hung them out to dry. So I was thinking about those statements because I saw them all over the place. I'm not here to call any one person out. There were a lot of people who said this, and yeah, there's definitely some truth to that. The offense did no favors for the defense, and that Seahawks defense did actually do some positive things. They were able to get a couple of quick punts early in the game. They held the Ravens scoreless in the first quarter. They forced a couple of turnovers in the second quarter. So there was some stuff to get excited about defensively, but at the end of that game, I said it before, I'll say it again, they gave up 300 rushing yards. That should not happen in the NFL ever. That's something that should happen in college football. The NFL, the talent and the ability of the players should run so closely together that it can't happen. So I'm looking at that, and then I'm looking at what happened last night with the New York Jets in particular. And I'm seeing about as much offensive ineptitude. It's not quite as bad as the Seahawks against the Ravens, because at least the Jets were able to sustain a few drives. But I'm seeing the same level of overall incompetence. Zach Wilson drops back to pass 57 times and nets 206 yards. And the Jets run the ball for slightly more than 3 yards a carry. So there's really not a lot to get excited about with this Jets offense at all. I think they were 3 for 17 on third down. Yikes. And despite that, the Chargers, their offense is almost as bad. Justin Herbert drops back to pass 35 times and nets 107 yards on those dropbacks that result in either a throw or a sack. That's the numbers that I'm using in case you're wondering. And the Chargers are okay running the ball, 84 yards, 4 yards a carry. It's okay. But net, the Chargers have less than 200 yards of offense in this game. And this isn't a game where the Jets offense gave you very, very little. I guess the one thing you could say is that at least the Jets were able to keep some drives partially alive. But to be perfectly honest, a lot of their plays came in garbage time after this game was already decided. And you got to remember, you got to remember the Chargers scored a touchdown on special teams, and they had a defensive play get down to the 1 yard line. So the Chargers offense really only scored 13 points. And you go to the play-by-play chart. You go to the drive chart here. I'm looking at that Jets offense. 3 and out, 6 plays fumble, 6 plays fumble, 3 and out, 3 and out, 7-play drive field goal, 6-play punt, 3 and out, 9-play field goal, 10-play punt, 6-play punt, 3-play fumble, and then they have that long drive at the end where they still don't score because they're bad. So I'm looking at this, and I'm not really seeing anything better, radically so, than what the Seahawks did on Sunday against the Ravens. And I'm seeing this Jets defense just hold strong. They're not letting anything go by easy. Again, 13 points. And I'm looking at these Chargers drives. 3 and out, 3 and out, 8-play touchdown drive. By the way, that was the one true offensive touchdown drive for the Chargers this whole game. 50 yards, so they got the ball at midfield. 5-play punt, 3 and out, 3 and out, 6-play punt, 3-play field goal, 3 and out. Long 16-play drive results in a field goal, 3 and out, and then you have the 2-yard drive that results in the touchdown and the kneel down at the end of the game. Do you guys get what I'm trying to say here? Having your offense hang you out to dry doesn't mean you just allow yourself to get hung out to dry. And you look at the Jets this year, this has been what they do. Their offense does nothing, their offense is useless, and their defense continues to grind in almost every game. This is not a one-off. This Jets defense will not be denied doing everything they can to win. Like, the one game that kind of got away from them was the Cowboys game in week 2. Other than that, I mean, the Bills game, I remember watching that game, amazed, just absolutely blown away that Zach Wilson and the Jets offense could screw up that badly, that many times, and the defense just goes right back out there and gets the ball back until eventually, by hook or by crook, they found a weird way to win that game. And that to me is like just the ultimate proof that a bad offensive performance is not an excuse to just lay down and be walked all over. You have the loss against New England where the offense did nothing. Defense continues to grind, keeps that game close, does everything they can. Now New England's offense is no good, and then the next week they keep the Jets alive for most of the game against the Chiefs, the mighty Chiefs. Maybe not so much this year, but it's still a pretty good offense. And the defense was able to actually make life hard for Mahomes. And Jets were in this game until the very end. And you got like the Broncos game. By the way, just to illustrate the point here, the Jets offense has 3 touchdown drives in their last 4 games since this Denver game. All those drives are 1-play drives. Handoff to Breece Hall for a 70-yard touchdown, handoff to Breece Hall for a 7-yard touchdown, and then there was one other Breece Hall touchdown. So it's not like these are long drives that are giving the defense a chance to rest, even when the Jets offense does score. Remember, in this Denver game, the Jets defense had to actually score the coup de grace. And I remember watching this game as well on Red Zone. Denver's offense did nothing until the end of the game when the Jets were up 2 scores, basically. The Philadelphia game, I mean, the Eagles are probably the best team in the league right now, or at least top 2. And the Jets defense did everything they could to keep a very, very lackluster Jets offense in that game until they were able to make the big play to secure it. In this Giants game now, the Giants' offense is so bad, maybe this isn't even an accomplishment, but that game set a record for punts almost. They may have set a record for punts, and the Jets' defense never backed down. So this is their brand. This is just what they do. Doesn't matter how bad the offense is, the defense keeps grinding. And even in this modern NFL where everything's about high-scoring offenses and offenses just putting up touchdown and touchdown and touchdown, this Jets defense finds a way. So I can want that for my team and know that it's possible. Just to prove it overall. You go pull up the list of best and worst offenses in the league so far. The Jets have the 3rd worst scoring average, 16.5 points a game. And they have the 2nd worst offense in terms of yards. So 31st. They are 30th in scoring, 31st in yards. And despite all that, if you go to the defensive tab, sort by points per game, the Jets have the 8th best defense in the league. They only allow 19.5 points a game. They never stop grinding. And obviously, to a certain extent, they are an exception. A lot of these other teams with really bad offenses, they're not stopping teams. But why can't we want a defense like the New York Jets? We have Pete Carroll. We've spent a lot on this defense. Why can't we have a defense like the Jets? Seems to me like it's doable. It's just not happening. And I'm not saying that we need to be really, really critical of this defense right now, but don't give them a pass. Don't tell me it can't be done. Don't tell me it just won't work. And again, I want to go back to the Jets' schedule here. Some of these offenses they played are bad, but some of them are good. I mean, they did this to the Eagles. They did this to the Chiefs. They did this to the Bills. Even the Chargers, they're not a bad offense. They're a flawed offense for sure, but they're doing this against some credible offenses. I want to end this video with a look at something that PFF posted yesterday concerning the Seahawks defense. Another kind of element to this. The Seahawks had 14 missed tackles against the Baltimore Ravens. 14 missed tackles. You can be hung out to dry by your offense and you can still tackle. To give you an idea of how bad that is, we had one missed tackle according to PFF against the Browns, and we had 26 total missed tackles in the first 7 games of the year. So that is less than 4 a game. So this is a problem. The defense just played bad. And again, the defense played great for about a month there. There was actually a game or two in there that you can find where the offense really didn't perform and the defense continued to grind. Or the offense was just kind of and the defense continued to grind. So it can be done. Even this Seahawks team has proven it can be done. So when I see it not happen, when I see what I saw on Sunday with the defense giving up 300 rushing yards in a game, I'm not going to just blow it off. And I don't think you guys should either, because I'm looking at stuff like this and going, why can't I have a defense like that? All right. See you guys later. Go Hawks. Hopefully my webcam starts working later, but let me know what you think.